Okay, so I want us to take a look at this map. What kind of document are we looking at? We are looking at a map, very good. Is this a primary document or a secondary document? Primary. It is a primary document, okay? What are some things that would tip us off that it is a primary document? It is old. Very good. It's very old. It is a map that dates back to 1546. That's a ways back. Okay? What are some things that you notice about this map? Yeah.
Newfoundland is like so big.
All right. Yeah. Newfoundland is massive, or Newfoundland. But that area of Nova Scotia and the St. Lawrence Seaway is massive. What are some other things we noticed over here? Saw some other hands go up. Yeah, the proportions are really weird. Yeah. So what I want to point out is that what looks the most accurate in the Western Hemisphere here? Yeah. Florida looks really accurate. Very good. That's fantastic. Yeah. Munster did a great job, right? It actually, well, Munster's the cartographer, but not the explorer here. What are some other things that look accurate? Good. Basically, that area of Mesoamerica, Central America, Caribbean looks pretty accurate. How about if we look over here? This area of Brazil, South America looks pretty decent. Okay. There's another thing that I want us to take a look at. What kind of language is on this map? Latin. Do you have any Latin students? Okay. Okay, my Latin students, or anyone else that thinks they may know, why would Latin be used by a German cartographer? Hold on. Okay, excellent. And you all said it over here. It would be universal. Okay? It would be a universal language. Somebody last class said sort of similar to English. Maybe everybody would have known it at that period of time, and that was a really great connection. What might be another reason why everybody might know Latin or connect?
The language of the clergy, the Catholic Church.
Very good. The language of the church. Even though we know that this is an era of Reformation, everybody's still, for the most part, tied to and connected to the Catholic Church. All right. So we're looking at here is Sebastian Munster's, and my apologies to my German students out there. I forgot the accent mark above the U, which is called, what is it again? Umlaut. Umlaut. Thank you. Umlaut. My apologies. Why might Germany be on the cutting edge of cartography? We know that they're not a big exploring nation. What do we know about German printing? Yeah, Gutenberg, right? So the Germans get out on the forefront with cartography. Another thing I want to point out is, why is this map called North America and South America and not North Columbia and South Columbia?
Because like how the name America originated?
Yeah.
Well, it's because the guy who first made the map, the region, named it after.
Right. And it was actually just, it was a matter of really timing more so than anything else, because we know that Columbus arrived earlier, and there are people that arrived before Columbus. Vikings, probably African explorers, Polynesian explorers, potentially Chinese explorers. But we know that Columbus landed, and yeah, he believes he's closer to China than he was, but by the time his fourth voyage had occurred, he knew that he had landed on something bigger than just islands in the Pacific. So who was this person? Does anybody know who that person was? Yeah.
He's an Italian, right?
He is Italian. Very good. And he sailed around the same time as Columbus. He just outlived Columbus. His name is Amerigo Vespucci. Amerigo Vespucci. So this is one of the early and most accurate maps of the Americas. Do you guys have any questions here? We're going to do a lot of these map and image breakdowns, a lot of primary document breakdowns. All right, peopling the Americas. What we're looking at is this Paleo era at the end of the last ice age, 34,000 years, 34 to 35,000 years ago, the end of the last ice age. Oceans congealed, creating an exposed land bridge that connected Siberia to present-day Alaska. Somebody said it earlier, these tribes were following food. Nice job, everybody. They are following herds of mammoth. They're following other herds of animals to survive. And for over 250 centuries, these tribes start to settle in regions all over North America and South America. Many of these groups are hunter-gatherers, but after the Paleo era, they start to settle in more long-term settlements along waterways like the Mississippi, the Caribbean, the Yucatan Peninsula, South America, because of geography. Exactly what we talked about today, how geography plays a distinct role in these people settling where they settle. And the geography also connects to their religion, connects to the way they form their culture, it connects to every facet of their lives. So there's an estimated, on the low end, 20 to 50 million, and on the high end, 100 to 200 million native people in North and South America at the time Columbus lands in San Salvador in 1492. Thousands of tribes, thousands of languages, and as we said before, this is not a utopian society. Tribes had different religions, they had different narratives, they had different cultures, they had different ways of life. They ate different things. And going back to geography, which was a really good discussion earlier, not all these tribes are going to connect, either because they didn't exist at the same time or they were geographically too far spread apart. You guys have any questions here? Any comments? So what we have here is a map of the Bering Strait. This area of Beringia is the land bridge that was exposed where animals and people are going to cross over into centuries, hundreds of centuries of settlement. Somebody out there brought up obsidian. Awesome, brilliant. The obsidian is going to have a lot to do with not only the Paleo, but those who settled in that post-Paleo era. When we think Paleo or the Paleolithic era, we're thinking hunter-gatherer. And then after the Paleolithic era, we're thinking more sophisticated civilizations that are creating permanent settlements, permanent dwellings. This symbol of the Clovis, the obsidian Clovis here, and not every Clovis was made with obsidian. Bone, stone, But most Clovis was made with obsidian. That really got the job done. Has anyone out there heard of a Clovis site before? Okay? A Clovis site is a site that exists in North America or South America that uses carbon dating to register how long a civilization existed in a certain area. We have 4 really significant Clovis sites in the Americas that I want to mention. One is in western Pennsylvania, another is in Virginia, Cactus Hill, another is in New Mexico, and another is in Chile. These 4 Clovis locations, with the use of carbon dating, have dated these civilizations in the Americas from 13 to 17,000 years old. That's pretty incredible. That predates the civilizations of the Fertile Crescent. So we know that these people, with the use of science, technology, archaeology, and history, they exist. And those archaeological digs are still happening today. Any questions about those locations? Has anybody been to Cactus Hill before? All right. Cool. Okay, so let's look at that post-Paleo era of more advanced civilizations. What I want to hit on today is just 4 of these civilizations. Next time we meet, we'll get a little bit more in depth. And I know some of you guys have some prior knowledge on some of the creation and development of these civilizations. So in Peru, we're looking at the Inca. In Mexico and Central America, the Olmec. In Mexico and Central America, the Mayan. And in Mexico and northern Mexico, the Aztec. Stunningly sophisticated civilizations, sophisticated farming, trade, cities, large temple, advanced agriculture, corn and maize, which they genetically engineered, became the crop in, historically speaking and scientifically speaking, one of the most amazing crops to spread as far as it did. As far south as Chile and as far northeast as upstate New York and into Canada, and as far northwest as the Oregon Territory and into British Columbia. Advanced mathematics, concept of zero in the Western civilization, adopted by, or created and adopted by the Olmec. Advanced calendars and mathematics and system of letters by the Mayan. Advanced engineering by all 4 of these civilizations, and advanced commerce and movement of goods by all 4 of these civilizations. Now, all of these civilizations lacked wheel technology for labor, but they used wheel technology for their calendars. The main reason for this is because there was a lack of drafting animals, that we would have seen in Europe. So no oxen, no horses. Those are going to be brought over by the Spanish and the English. Furthermore, we're going to look at, when we talk about Jared Diamond and Guns, Germs, and Steel and his theory of geography separating the haves from the have-nots, this is a big part of his case study. The fact that the Inca have llama and alpaca, but they're not drafting animals. There's also an important animal that the Europeans have that the native cultures don't have, that is going to create a big problem for the Native Americans, and that's going to be pigs. Why might pigs create a big problem? Disease, yeah, spread of disease. Okay, so here we have the Mayan calendar on the left, and on the right we've got rows of corn. So what we're taking a look at here is just a couple of the factors related to the earliest genetic engineering, taking different seeds, planting them together by the Olmec and the Mayan. There is no wild ancestor that has been found for the crop. And it is spread as far south as the southern tips, well, close to the southern tip, South America, and it is spread far north. So we're going to hold off here. We'll talk a little bit more about the Mayan Popol Vuh, which is their cultural narrative, giving credit to their god of maize. What I'd like for you guys to do at the bottom of your, I'd like for you to do me a favor at the bottom of your driving question is answer a couple of questions. Before that, are there any questions you guys might have or any comments? All right.